Hello and welcome. So this is the series which I have done for the rental makeover of the flat. I would like to explain you about the journey of what was the thought process and how did I start while doing this. So let's move ahead. So I've not done since the purpose of the flat was merely to rent out. I didn't wanted much interior or much aesthetics things to be there in the flat so that it becomes easier for the tenant to handle, and at the same time my client, I didn't wanted them to overspend or overdo things because it was like merely on the rental basis. So if you see, I have not done any paneling here. This were the bare shell walls which were there earlier. So the marble which was there, I have retained it as it is. I have just cleaned it. I mean, we have just repolished it. So the polishing on the walls and on the floor has been done. Then the rest of the entire wall, we just leveled it, and I had used a very basic wallpaper. I mean, this is an imported wallpaper. I have gone for a good quality wallpaper so that it takes care of the wear and tear and the maintenance issue. But having this wallpaper on this side, and on the other side, this is the restriction. I mean, I had just restricted it here. I could have done something here, but as I told you, my intention was just to beautify it in such a manner which is at a reasonable cost, which looks pleasing, and it is very much easy to maintain and highly, I mean, from utility point of view, it is a win-win for both. Now, there was no safety door earlier, so I had added a safety door because the location of the flat, the cross ventilation purpose, I wanted to have a proper cross ventilation because as per the directions, this and there's a window inside of the flat. So if just the two windows are open, the ventilation throughout the flat is an amazing one. So that was the reason I've gone for a safety door. Also, my client also insisted to have a safety door, so we have gone for a safety door. I have used merino laminates and I have used black fluted laminate here, so that the black fluted laminate gives a pop. Because the laminate was black, I had gone for a 12 inches handle. I didn't go for much longer handle because the length of the handle is purely dependent on the cost. So as I told you, budget was the restriction, so I've gone for a basic 12 inches handle which can take care of, the shape is also such that it looks great, and at the same time cost wise it is pocket friendly. So the external laminate use is 1 mm thick, fluted laminate use is also 1 mm thick. The polishing, the groove what you see, I have maintained that as black. Now going for the CNC grill, this also I have gone for proper black matte finish grill so that it camouflages, I mean it goes with the assembly, because the grains in the wood have a little of blackish tinge, so that is how the complementation with the black fluted laminate and with the grill gives a good enhancement to the overall design. So there is a magnet here. If you see, I have gone for a bell magnet. I've gone for a bell magnet here because what happens is, if this door has to kept open for some time because of heavy breeze or because of anything, it might bang. So just to avoid that, it becomes a good win-win. I mean, with regards to the door being rested firmly on the surface, and it even avoid some accidents also at times. Like for example, if somebody is outside and the door gets closed, then there's nobody inside to open, so then this magnet will take care of that. Then I have just gone for basic one plain light over there at the top, if you see. So this is just a plain light which, if you want to have any photo frame or any idol or any Ganesha or whatever it may be, so that can definitely be illuminated with the help of that light. And there's just this one single bell switch. Electrical, I've changed the entire electrical of this flat, have been rewired. I mean, the entire electrical has been changed. So the switch what I have used here as well are Ligrand, but the series what I have used in this flat are Ligrand Bi-Link. So that is how the entire journey of the switches. As we progress, we will go ahead and we'll understand the design of the other elements. Now we are going inside. The latch or the lock what I have used is by Godrej. So this is just the plain two-way latch, and there is no other element or no other additional hardware which I have incorporated in the safety door. So it's a pure, very clean and minimalistic door what we have arrived. Now I'll take you to the internal side of the passage. Now the threshold, if you see, threshold as I always maintain, the threshold is a teak wood threshold. I have gone for a proper 4 inches threshold because the depth of the frame what I have here is also 4 inches. Now the second main door what we have, this is the main door. So this was the old main door which we already had. So I had just refurbished the door, like I have re-laminated it. The condition of the door, the core was good, but the finish of the top and like the back rear side was not up to that mark. So I've just gone for an addition of 6 mm laminate, I mean 6 mm plywood, sorry, 6 mm plywood I have been crushed on both the sides, and that is how the door finishing, the door edges and the thickness of the door has been salvaged. So this is the old door, but I have, for the external part I have used the same laminate which is there in the safety door, so that it gels up with the entire assembly. Now this door is again also with the same handle. Internally I wanted, because the passage is not the one which is, it doesn't have much of natural light, and I didn't had any scope of adding much more elements. So just to keep that freshness, just to keep that brightness, I have gone for a white based, white wood finish laminate. So this is not a rustic laminate, this is a proper white with white wooden finish of the laminate. This is again SF finish. I have not used texture because it is like, since it is on the rental basis, I didn't wanted much of maintenance. Also the cost also was a factor into consideration, because when we go for textured laminate, comparison of the cost, like in comparison to the regular SF and the texture, there is always a variation of around 100 to 300 rupees plus per sheet. So that was also a challenge. So I've gone for clear SF finish laminate. So the laminate which I've used for the side panel and for the top here, the door earlier was here. But since there was an offset, I didn't wanted an offset to disturb the beauty of the passage. So I've just gone for additional paneling over here, and the entire panel, this is how you see this. So the entire look of the door has been enhanced. At the same time, passage have also been widened. It is the same passage, but the illusion or the effect of having lighter shade definitely maximizes the presence. So that is how we have arrived here. A win-win with the color of the laminate. Handle black definitely gels up well because the grains are also in lighter black or maybe greyish tone, so then this handle stands out. Apart from that, as I have used Godrej latch over here, the knobs of the latch are a little bit of brownish and a little bit of dark brownish. So that is how this black and brown still complements with the overall laminate. So this was what I had to explain about the door. Also there is one more, the bell magnet. Here I have not used bell, here I have just used cylindrical magnet, because if you see, there are certain the length of the length of all these magnets comes in a standard format. So here I had to maintain a length of around 4 inches or say 100 mm. So that was how I had gone for a cylindrical bell magnet to take care of the offset or to take care of the requirement. Now since the main door is here, when you come from outside or when you're going out, this was the place which was convenient for the electrical switches. This is how the board is positioned here. If you just see, when I open the door, it is exactly, the main switches are not at all coming in the way of the door. So whether you're going out or whether you're coming from out, this becomes convenient for handling. So that is how I have gone for the switch. The placement of the switchboard was in this location. Earlier the switchboard was somewhere here, but it was very much inconvenient because of having the door. So one has to always close the door and then access. So from access point of view, I managed to have the switchboard here. So this takes care of the principal lighting which are there in the passage. One is the outside light. So here there are 2 lights. So this takes care of that. And one additional switch socket I have given. So in case if somebody wants to have a video door phone or any other gadget to take care, or the CCTV or maybe whatnot. So this having one switch socket is always a win-win, because you get ease or a flexibility to add on anything of your choice. So I have already mentioned that I have used Lakeland, I have used the MyLink series over here. Now in the passage, this was an old unit which was already there. The unit was in a good condition. It was just the requirement of few maintenance points with regards to the polishing, with regards to the hinges, and with regards to having some knobs functional. So I've just changed the basic hinges. This was already veneer, so I've actually just polished it. I've polished it in a brownish tone because that was the tone which was complementing well with the passage design. These embellishments were already there, so I thought of going ahead with that. Now here this was the same veneer which was used here, but that veneer was completely in a very the condition of the veneer was not good to go. It was completely withered out. So we had used HDHMR ply behind this. So if you see this, I used HDHMR ply just behind this cavity, and this has been re-laminated. I used a rattan finish on purpose because rattan is one which is in trend. I didn't want to use actual rattan because it is difficult to maintain, especially when there are tenants staying in. So out of that, I also cost also was a factor. So laminated sheets was a good option because it was cost friendly. I had it is a win-win because the effect which I wanted is already derived. So that is how I have used rattan laminates over here. Now this is the location for the MDB box. So behind this was all there previously. I have just painted, I have just polished, and I have just worked with the hardware. That's it, which was done in this entire section. Now coming to walls. Now these were all plain walls, but the condition of the walls was not at all good. There were a lot of plastering patches which had already fallen off, even on the ceiling and even on the walls. So just to maintain that, to repair the flat was the primary challenge for me, because that was my client's requirement, that the flat has to be repaired in such a manner that it is good to go for at least 12 to 15 years. So the major challenge in this flat was the civil repairs. So civil repairs for this wall was the patch plastering which we had to do, because there were a lot of patches which had already come out. Even in the ceiling we had the same challenge. There were a lot of because of expansion and contraction, or because of pressure, the lateral pressure, there are a lot of bars which was visible. So we had to re-strengthen the bars. We had to apply a coat of anti-rust. We had to clean the bars as we advance our journey in the living room and in the bedrooms. I had to even re-strengthen it by having additional bars to take care of the strengthening element as well. So that we have all done in this flat. So here for the walls I have replastered the entire wall. While replastering, we have used waterproofing chemicals because there was some moistness also which was identified in these walls. So to be on the safer side, I have used waterproofing chemicals or admixtures throughout the flat in the entire plastering. So walls I have just used plain wooden putty. So this is just the wooden putty. Just to give a different effect for the paneling, or I didn't want to go higher on the budget, so it was just the putty paneling what I've done, or what we say wainscoting. So this is how I wanted a boxy pattern here because I already had a structure here. So this box and the plane or any other element I thought would have been a mismatch in the design. So that is how I've gone for grid patterns. So this is the grid which I've maintained on both the walls and even on the ceiling. If you see, I didn't want the ceiling to be just plain white monotonous, because I wanted to have this passage as an elevation or as a beautifying factor. I have gone for the side gridding with putty paneling and in the ceiling as well. So if you see the light, I have just gone for basic panel light. I haven't gone for any false ceiling in this flat. So it is just the plain surface light, sorry, not panel light, my mistake. I have used all surface light over here. So surface light, whatever I have used again by the brand Philips. Here what I have used is again the regular one, which is 15 wattage, which takes care of the passage. So we have covered with the wall, we have covered with the ceiling. Now it is the floor. I want you guys to see the journey of the floor. So this what I have used is Kota. So because I wanted to try something different, what we have, the Kota what I have finalized for this flat, for this passage flooring was again in the size of 23 inches by 23 inches. So I wanted this pattern exclusively here because it gives a bungalow kind of feeling, and it gives a effect of having a longer or a wider passage. So that is how we have gone for this design. So there is no groove, there is no proxy, nothing used over here. It is just the plain Kota, and the joints have been filled with white cement and with a color which is going with the quota. The quota is repolished. We have polished the quota so that it gives you that feel and it gives you the clear feel. Using quota in the passage again, it was not only the design element but also for the living room. I had a marble flooring which was already there, and it was old Makrana marble which is there in the living room. So the Makrana marble which is there in the living room has a little bit of greenish tinge in it, greenish and greyish tinge in it. So that was challenge number one. Similarly, the other challenge was in both the bedrooms, my client already had quota flooring. So the quota already was there in the flat. Now having some different element for the passage with a different tile or with a different design would have been somewhere a big mismatch, because this is a passage which is taking us to the living room, and again from the living room we advance to both the bedrooms. So that is how I had shortlisted quota over here. Instead of the plain quota, I thought of giving it a bit of design twist by having this kind of pattern. So that's it for the passage. So as we advance, there is one door here which leads us to the kitchen area. So since all the doors, all the internal doors are somewhere coming and they advance from the common passage, I wanted the uniformity throughout the passage. So all the doors of this flat, the internal and the external internal doors, we have used the same laminate which is by Merino. I have done framing over here. So the framing which I have done is again plywood, but to avoid accidents, what we do is we just with the help of router machines, we just cut the plywood edges so that they are not sharp, and we fill these edges with the help of actual wooden paneling, wooden putties, which is very much rounded. So we round the edges so that it becomes completely round, and it is like a very one. Even if there are patches where somebody gets hurt, so this will be not that dangerous, because the entire design or the entire C pattern we have added that twist over here. Again, the same paneling has been extended towards the ceiling, so the length is achieved, because there are two doors. One is the kitchen door and one is the main door. So since this entire passage falls in one place, I had to manage my design flow so that it looks all in sync. So both the doors, the paneling, if you see, it stretches till the ceiling, and that is how the laminates are placed. So this is it for the passage designing. Thank you.
I truly appreciate your time. Thanks for watching this video. If you resonate with my content, do like, comment, share and subscribe my channel. Thanks. Bye-bye.